Good day everyone, and welcome back to Sprue Review. This week I'm reviewing the brand new Demons of Slaanesh Fiends. And this is the sprue that comes in the Wrath and Rapture box set that so recently came out and caused very much of a stir in the Warhammer community for very obvious reasons. This does have a very beautiful, terrifying and shocking sculpt with as we all well know by now, exposed nipples, a lot of flesh, chains, horns, hooks, crab claws, really a very beautiful and very terrifying looking model to behold. Now, as you can see, all three Fiends of Slaanesh come in one single sprue, and it's quite large, and I'm probably going to have problems fitting it on camera. As always, I like to review these sprues in very close detail as a person who likes to kit bash and likes to customize models, and this will be no different. And in order for me to pull everything close to the camera, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip this very large sprue in half and go through it in two parts. So let me just snap that off, and snap it off here. There we go. So I'm going to keep my cutters, and broadly there are two sprues, and before I carry on, you'll see the bodies of 1, 2, 3 Fiends of Slaanesh. Now, as you all know, I don't read, so the instructions were quite beyond me, but I think I'd be able to figure this out simply by looking at the sprues. Now, let's go through this half first. And you'll see that most of the Fiends of Slaanesh will come in three, their bodies broadly will come in three parts. You have a main half, a smaller half that takes up the legs on the other side of the body, and you have some sort of like a chest portion here. What we see here is enough parts for a single model, and if we look into detail on the main body, you'll see this really gorgeous sculpting of the body, and the legs, all that muscly sinew and everything is very well presented. If you go up close, you see that the skin itself has some very nice texture. You've got sort of a leathery and even scaly effect on some parts of the skin, and you'll see that the chest does have the same sort of stretched and puckered skin around where the straps go. I really love the way all this is sculpted. It does lend a very tactile effect to the skin. As a person who's going to kit bash these models, I do foresee that because these components fit so precisely together, they're going to be rather hard to kit bash with other models. However, it does appear that you could possibly put together a small demon prince. As it is, I already see a couple of spare bodies. I'm not sure, and I'll check on the other sprue whether I actually need these extra torsos. But if I could, and I'm sure I would if I could, have some of these spare parts, I would definitely put together maybe a kit bashed customized demon prince. I would be very, very excited to do that. Now, as it appears, most of these models also sort of have a tabard or loincloth that hangs between the legs and covers up their, suffice to say, naughty bits. And I'm sure that you do have variants with the tabard attached to the torso and variants that don't have the tabard attached. I do look forward to see what each one offers and what the options are. Along with that, of course, one of the Fiends of Slaanesh does come with this very long mane attached to the head, which is nice as well. And it does appear that in some cases the head is one whole piece, and in others you'll see, if I bring up the other sprue, that the heads also can come in several pieces and have several options too. Already here I see a portion that looks like it belongs as part of a crest or head, and that might fit together with this one here. Now, in order to get a good grasp of what this sprue offers, I'd like to have a look at the other one and then come back to this one if necessary. So I'm going to go over to the other one first. So here we are on the other sprue, and this sprue, like the last, you'll see that you get several halves of the body, two halves here and two halves here, and also a fair number of small claws, spikes, hands, tongues, and a fair number of very interesting portions. And it does appear that tails do come in two parts, one attached to the spine of the body that terminates in a socket where you can attach different variants of the tip of the tail. You'll see two options here, and you'll see, if I may, one more option here, and I'm not sure whether those are the only ones we have. It would appear that on this one we do have several tails as well, and I will be updating most likely on my Instagram if we do have several options. But as it stands, it does appear that we only have maybe 3 to 4 tail tip options. Now, moving on from that, you'll see, as I mentioned earlier, some of the heads actually come in several parts. And if you look closely at this one, you'll see that the back of his head is actually hollow. That will allow you to actually fit in some of these spikes that come together. And by the pictures in the scraps of paper that are inside the Wrath and Rapture box, I do know that these are actually horns that you can attach to your fiends. In addition, these are more parts that you can attach, and this one even has eyes on it, so I would assume that some of the heads, or at least one of the heads, does have this option. Now, as I continue to look into the details of this model, it becomes very apparent to me that it's not going to be very easy to kit bash these with other models, aside from maybe using some of the spare parts for, sort of a demon prince, and some of these loose loincloths or tabards for other models, maybe even Space Marine, sort of Emperor's Children type Space Marine. But aside from that, it doesn't look like this gives much of a room to combine or kit bash. However, that said, in a lot of these cases, because there isn't much room, it does give the sculptor a lot of freedom in putting this design together. As you can see, going into detail on some of the portions where the legs come together and where all the flesh is stretched over with leather and sort of a latex-like material, you see beautiful sculpting, and it does really make a person who likes to paint like me very, very excited to get to work on a project like this. One thing of note and very interesting in the design that some of you may have noticed already is that the front legs and hind legs point in opposite directions, and I think that was one of the details on this model that did make it that much more creepy and unnatural, and that actually made me incredibly happy to see that they were taking a little bit of freedom and a little bit of uh, um, creative license in how they were building this, and it does set this apart from the other demons and the other factions. So all in all, I am very happy with this purchase, and I do feel that I might want to actually bring in more of these models simply for the fun of it. I do think that they'll be very fun to put together and very fun to play with. So I'm definitely going to sort of keep an eye out for anyone who's going to be offering these second hand or in portions. Especially a lot of the con players who bought the Wrath and Rapture specifically for Karanek, and are willing to trade for more bits in exchange for these. So all in all, beautiful model. Can't wait to put it together. Not many options to kit bash with, and yet I still feel no regrets in getting these, simply for the fact that they are very nice to look at. Well, now, if you do have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe, and if you hit the notification bell, as people seem to say, it does seem to help. I am very new to this, and I would like to know if it really does help. So please hit the notification bell, and also, if you feel so inclined, have a look at my Patreon and help keep this very brand spanking new channel alive. Without much more to say about this sprue, I'd like to wish you all a very happy new year, and I hope you have very good fortune and good health for both you and your loved ones in the year ahead. And till next time, take care.